Just going to post what feels right. If that's talking about seagulls breeding with magpies in the middle of a field, if I'm doing it because I want to get 100 likes on a post so that I then feel popular and validated, then doing online stuff that, quite frankly, I'm like, I don't need to do it for my own validation. I didn't think, but the fact that hardly anybody really gives too much of a monkeys on a lot of the videos, I want to be successful, and then in 5 years time I'm in such a mess that I'm unable to do anything. So I think now's the time to claw that back.
It's fine having, like, being in that place, but if you can't do anything with it, then...
Alright you guys, so I'm going to get deep with you now. He's hurt his paw, so we might get slightly disturbed with this conversation. This morning I planned to go out and walk, and this bit's going to be in the books. I'm writing a book about all this trip, and the other bit, you're right buddy. But then we got disturbed and we was going to be by the riverside. So we're sitting here just outside the tent with this little furry one. And let me tell you something, so much has been coming up for me on this trip. And I was expecting to feed it when we went to, you're right. I was expecting to feed it when we went to Wales. But I didn't think I'd feed it before then, because then I'm going to be on my own. And I thought I'd have like more time to you okay? I thought I'd have more time to think and stuff. But honestly, there's something about sitting here and just smelling the fresh air, watching the cows. They're not there now, but nearly everybody's cleared off the park today. And there's been so much coming up for me, honestly. It's even just sitting petting him is like so nice. I got you, baby. So it's become really apparent to me that I spend an awful lot of time doing online stuff. Let me just put him down. Spend a lot of time doing online stuff that, quite frankly, I'm like, I don't need to do it for my own validation. I didn't think, but the fact that hardly anybody really gives too much of a monkeys on a lot of the videos, and those of you that do, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but you know, I literally give probably full time to between my YouTube and my Instagram. I don't do much on Facebook now, but a little bit I do on Facebook, and I run a few travel groups as well on Facebook. And it takes up a lot of time. And between that, oh no, I think it's raining again. So between that, and I'm studying for my doctorate, in case you don't know, and I'm writing books, and I do some other little offline businesses as well. There's a lot going on, and I look after my mum, and I'm still very hands-on mother myself to my twins. And even though, you know, everyone's like, oh, they're grown up now, but I'm just that mum. I just am. You know, we do a lot of things together. And of course, juggling that with my own personal life, and I have a social life, and I have affairs at the heart that take up a lot of my thinking and my time. And I've now got to a place of, like, this book, you've probably seen, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been trying to read this book for I don't know how long. I'll show you how far I am into it, because there'll be a dog-eared page that I'm that far into it, which is like hardly any. And I was like, I'm going to sit here and read this book, and I brought 3 other books with me as well. And now we're halfway through this trip, and I haven't even read a page of it. But I have been writing today, and I've loved that, and that's been amazing. So what's come up for me on this trip is that I've had this health thing. I don't know if I've told you. Have I told you about that? I don't think I have. So it's to do with my Crohn's and my ankylosing spondylitis. And basically, you know what? I should film this with the view behind. I'll show you in a minute. So I've got to. The disease is progressing slightly. And I want to say, despite my best efforts, but my best efforts have not been present since January. And I think because I've started my doctorate, it's taken up a lot of time. I haven't been to the gym like I was before. I haven't been as mindful with my eating, because I normally do an awful lot of cooking. I've not done any of that. you know, I've just sort of grabbed whatever, whenever, and even though I'm not eating very much, here comes my daughter. You've got great abs going on there. It's not really giving my health the best chance, so I'm just having a deeper meaningful with these guys. Come and join us. He wanted to sit down there, so here she is. So basically, it's just become apparent to me that my absolute number one thing's got to be health. The same with everybody. Oh, look, it's a ladybird that's yellow and...
Is that poisonous?
I don't know. Does it mean it's poisonous?
Oh, I don't know. But they're normally red.
I'll leave it.
If anyone didn't know.
I think everybody knows what colour a ladybird is. You do that from the age of about 1.5.
Probably before that.
Yeah, probably before that. Is it going to rain?
I'm not sure, but I didn't walk back slowly because of it.
Maybe you can join in this conversation as well now. It might be more interesting.
What is the conversation?
So I'm just saying about like what's come up for me basically, and that just touching briefly on the biologics and the AS and the Crohn's thing, and that, you know, I feel since my doctorate, since that started, my health has slipped a bit. I've not been to the gym as often as I normally do, and you know, all those sorts of things, and that's got to come first, and I've got to put myself before anything and anybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is not always easy to do. I think when you're a mother and a carer and trying to have a life, it does become, you become so busy and so wrapped up in things. And I think all my posting online, I was just saying to these guys, Jazz, that, you know, it's pretty full time. I do that, and then my doctorate is supposed to be 24 hours a week, but it's always more than that. And obviously popping in and looking after mum, doing her shopping and paying the bills and all that sort of thing. It's a lot, and it's no wonder really that I'm struggling. But what I don't want to do is keep working really hard thinking, oh, we need the money, or I want to be successful, and then in 5 years time I'm in such a mess that I'm unable to do anything. So I think now's the time to claw that back.
It's fine having, like, being in that place, but if you can't do anything with it, then pointless really. It's like these people that go and work like ridiculous hours every week and travel like 2 or 3 hours to get there, and then that same back, and they just don't have a life, but they have all this money. It's a bit like, yeah, you've got all the money, but it's almost like, not what have you got to show for it, but like, if you can't go and use it, then
and everybody's got a different perception of what an amazing life will be.
Yeah.
But as we're sitting here now, looking at the trees, I don't know where the cows have gone.
No, the cow's gone home.
Watching the sky change and sniffing the air, even feeling the air change. Like a minute ago we was like, oh, getting really hot, I took my wellies off. Now it feels like it's going to rain. I can smell the citronella candles, and just sitting here and being able to go, oh look, really nothing of any significance that's like, oh, I must do that because I've got to be of service to someone, or I must try and figure out what's my niche so that I can pitch to them, or what hashtag is trending, you know. A big part of me now, and I think the other thing is, and I hope this doesn't make me cry, I've worked really hard, and I think I'm really proud of that, but I am not 30 years old anymore trying to establish myself. I've established myself, and I wrote in the book this morning, Jazz, the one that's, I reckon that'll be out by autumn, Hills and Valleys, I reckon that'll be out by autumn.
I like that name.
It's a great name. It's a great name. I've just written in there that if I could go back to my 30-year-old self and say about the mini empire that I've built, let's put it that way, even though it's hilarious that we're camping in this tent, look, washing up bowl, towels drying, you name it.
Background.
Yeah, but I just think it's real, isn't it? And there's so much of that is becoming a thing now online, where people going, look, I'm not a size 8 model or 0, whatever that is in the States.
I think almost so that's become a little bit toxic, to where the point people have been like, oh well, this is what most people look like when they're sitting relaxed, but people want to post their best bits online to the point where people almost put people down if they look nice, or if they look perfect or whatever. But just because you're sitting in a certain, I don't know, but
I agree, it is getting a bit much,
anyway.
and I think sometimes you just got to let it be. I love that song by the Beatles, Let It Be. Is his foot still hurting him?
Yeah.
Probably got something in it. We'll leave him to sort it out. He's quite good with all that.
He doesn't really like us touching it.
Oh, he doesn't want to even put it down. So it's really hard to put into words what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, I'll just touch on this quickly. So with ankylosing spondylitis, your joints basically deform because they cause scar tissue where the body's attacking itself, and I've got other areas of the body that's attacking itself, and if I don't do something about it, the future might not look so brilliant for me. It's going to really have a massive impact on my ability, and not that I'm really into the whole ableist thing. I don't know what you call that, Jasmine. That's a new thing, like the white privilege thing. It's almost like, oh, if you've got an able body, you're really privileged, and I don't know how to put it, but it is what it is. And I think we've all got challenges that we've got to live in. I
think everyone's putting these like
so many labels,
like
isn't there?
As you are.
I was born.
So, like, yes, someone might have been born in like a more privileged position, but it's difficult to know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It is what it is, isn't it? It's the journey.
Like, everyone's born in different situations. Like, someone might be born in to like society standards, a more perfect body or life or whatever, you know. And
yeah,
I don't want to say it's not their fault because that sounds really wrong, but like, I don't know, everyone's put in these different parts of life to learn something or grow or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. I mean, that is a bit of a hippie value, but that's what I believe. I think we've all got challenges in life. You can look at someone else and think, oh my God, their life looks perfect. Well, take for example the amount of celebrities who have mental health issues or become addicted to something or commit suicide, you know, and you look at them and think, but they've got all this money. How hard is their life because of other things? You know, we've all got a challenge basically, and I think life's about you tweaking life to your challenge so that you can be the best version of you that you can be. I know that's so cheesy, but sitting here grounding, and even as stupid as it sounds, but it won't to a lot of you, taking off the shoes and socks and getting in the grass, you know, it just, anyone that knows about these things, and I'm not an expert, but Reiki and stuff like that, you know, grounding yourself, it just allows the natural you to flow with things. And I think when you're camping, you've got daylight and then you've got not daylight, and on the not daylight is when you want to go to sleep and you can't almost stop yourself. You're just like, you know, you've been going to bed really late, Jazz, haven't you? But here you just want to sleep when it's dark.
Yeah. I mean, I have been still not getting up too early, which I'm quite surprised at, but I think because the sun's not out that bright in the morning at the moment, because it's just a bit overcast, the tent doesn't get too hot, so you sort of stay asleep. But I think with
definitely
times where like this, you just
definitely
what it tells you.
I don't know if anybody's been camping, but oh my God, that tent gets so hot.
Yeah.
And like now we've just opened it up a bit to give it a bit of air.
Greenhouse, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, it's green.
It's
anyway.
green. Yeah.
But yeah, basically, what I'm saying to you guys, I'm still around, and I'm still gonna be staying around, and because I really like posting online, and I think it's lovely to look back on. Like, you know, today, but that's on another video that you would have already seen, is my 10 years YouTube anniversary, and looking back on their first one's so funny, and some of them are so awkward. We need to watch that, Jay. You haven't seen it yet. And it's just, you know, the memories and the things, and when you look back over a block of time, you think, oh my goodness, in that 10 years I've done that thing, and I've lost that person, and you know, all these different things have happened, and that's just progression of life. But what I don't want to do is put myself under pressure to achieve a certain thing online, because I don't need to. You know, I've got incomes in other ways that means that's not an absolutely essential thing to achieve. And if I'm doing it because I want to get 100 likes on a post so that I then feel popular and validated, then I do think that is where, like, you know, a lot of people talk about this, you make yourself happy, someone else can't make you unhappy, and I debate that on this channel a lot, because I think somebody else can be horrible to you and it will affect you. It doesn't matter how happy you are in yourself, or somebody will, I don't know, whatever, fill in the blank.
I understand that. But it's a bit like, even if you just walk into a room sometimes, and the vibe of that room can automatically put you down, even if no one's even said anything.
himself all tied up.
It's alright.
Oh, he's sat down. He's giving his leg a little going over. Yeah, so you do pick up on things, and it doesn't matter how much you love yourself or how good your self-esteem is. My self-esteem's really up there, and I do think I'm a pretty awesome human, but I can be affected by people not being nice to you, and show me someone that can't. But I think it's about carrying on with that thing, and I don't know if I'm going on a bit of a tangent now.
I feel like I've kept doing that, and I'm not too sure what my point has been when I keep trying to talk about these things. I think
okay.
it's really difficult to talk about. I think this last
Ladybird's on my cup.
Oh, I don't know if it is poisonous. I might have to get it off.
I'm gonna get it off, but is it poisonous?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's gone for a fly
I'm
now.
say no, the purpose it was.
Hang on, let's just check it's not in my cup. It's not in my cup. Drink my coffee, I'll have a fight. Yes, always 2 magpies, Jasmine.
I keep seeing 2 magpies everywhere.
Means joy. We just seen a magpie and a seagull over there where the tent's someone's gone, so I suppose there's all grubs underneath. And I said, imagine like them 2 making a baby. How weird would that be? Anyway, so yeah, the long and the
short. Giant magpie. I mean, that one's not a big seagull, but.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah.
A magpie that big.
Yeah, it would be big. Yeah,
that'd be terrifying. I think
it would be like a pterodactyl. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, it's just like the surrender, the giving up the struggle of the thing, because 100% I need to commit to getting back. I was going to the gym every single day when I was first diagnosed with my AS, and I did get really strong, and it did really help. Eat that nut. Too tired. Everyone's gone out and left us.
Yeah.
Just us on the campsite. It's wicked. Oh, yeah, door's open. So I don't know if it's making any sense, but I think trying to get, it's like a popularity contest online, isn't it? And that's never been what this is about. Initially I started this because I wanted people to know about The Secret and the law of attraction, and now I've realised, oh, everybody does know about that. That I can just chill about it now a little bit and still talk about it if I want to, still vlog our trips. We're going to go on so many trips, we've got big plans, but not this year obviously. Well, not obviously, some people are going away and that's their decision, but
I just think I don't know, it's difficult at the minute. This last year had made so many people change and situations and stuff. Some for the better, some for the worse. I think everyone's become really political, so you feel like you can't open your mouth without trying to give reasons for everything.
There's so much, isn't there, where people are going, oh, and just my little disclaimer, you know, and I say that occasionally on here when I'm talking about health and stuff. See, that was the other thing, there's so many things that I know about that I want to share that and I want to share that. But if I start telling you about gut health now on this channel, it's going to take a whole channel to do that, I think. So I'd much rather just it be about life. Obviously I write the books about life, whether that be something philosophical or self-help or a story, and that's what I really enjoy doing. That's what I feel I'm put on this earth to do. Again, in the book that's going to be coming up, if the book's out by now, which it won't be when you first see this video, but if you're watching this in way in the future, I'll leave links to it all down there. But you can follow my Amazon page anyway, and you can see when it goes up on Amazon. What was I going to say about it?
I'm not sure, I'm a bit distracted by the birds, to be honest.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
We're going to leave links to it.
Yeah, no, before that.
Gut health.
Gut health, books, my channel. I don't know. But yeah, so, I mean, just vlogging about general stuff. When I look at, like, I've got a friend, Jess, and she's just talking about her 3rd book that she's releasing with, I think she's with HarperCollins, big publishing house. And oh yeah, I was going to say about my dream last night. So Jess doesn't post online all the time, but when she's got something to say about her books, like a book cover or whatever, then she posts, and I love that. That's great. Last night I had this dream. This is a massive book, and it had all the big name books in it, and like I said, I've written about this in my book. And in there was like E.L. James and what's her name? J.F. Penn. No, what's her name?
Not J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, that's
Yeah.
it. And all of these people with the big books, and it was in one big book, all these massive. And I was going through this book in this like library, and I was like, wow, look at this. So there was a book cover, and then the book. So say it's like this, and then there'd be another book on top of that, and another one on top of that, and it made this massive book. And I was flipping through it, and I was like, wow. And I closed it, and I turned around.
Imagine trying to take that on holiday.
Oh yeah, and I turned around, and all of those authors were stood there in this library, and they was looking at me, and they was going like that, as if to say, like, go on. And also at 11:11 yesterday, an email popped in. I said to Jasmine, because I was just saying something quite groundbreaking. I said, let's see what this email says, and it was from my book distributors, Ingram Spark, and it said just self-publish that book or something. And I was like, so all these signs are coming, and I just think that's what I've got to focus on, is what matters. Because like Jazz was saying, we all work so hard to earn all this money, and then like just never,
If you haven't got the time to use it,
you've got to just sit and watch the cows and smell the grass and feel the rain and splashing puddles, and or whatever your thing is, you know. And that's really, I expected this realisation at the end of my Welsh trip, which is why I thought, I'll write a book about that, because I know I'm going to go on a bit of a journey, a bit of a pilgrimage, but without the religiously bit, because I know where I'm at with all of that.
Miles and miles and miles of walks.
Can't do that because Harley. And yeah, so did that make sense? Do any of you feel the same? Do any of you feel like you're going through a bit of a period of clearing, a bit of a do you know what, I'm making life too hard? And the thing is as well, I don't need to do what I needed to do when they were like born. When they were born, there was two of them, one of me. I needed to be dynamic, and I needed, you know, we had no money. We was literally hungry, and we literally, I don't know if this is a book spoiler. It doesn't matter if you're watching this far into the video, you'll be someone that will love this bit. I was literally had nowhere to live. I was 20 weeks pregnant and I had nowhere to live, and it was can you imagine that, you know? And
it sounds awful.
It was
like the thought of trying to move house, being that pregnant, just, I mean, 20 weeks probably isn't that much in like normal people's, if
it's a singleton pregnancy.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But being twins,
yeah, I did look like I was ready to pop, and I was pretty big, but
even
it
just,
was
like, carrying something that's even not heavy. It's probably more difficult because it's got to be like that far away from you.
Yeah, true, but you're not supposed to carry things that are heavy. But
no, exactly.
All I could do was focus on, right, I need to do that, and then now I need to do that. And I think that I've had the almost the blessing the last little period of time of thinking, breathe, now what should I do with life, you know? And that's a big old overwhelming philosophy question. And you know, I don't need to be the girl I was when I had them anymore. I can be someone that thinks, I've worked really hard, we're doing okay, you know. I can't completely go, oh, it doesn't matter about anything anymore, you know. We've got, I don't even know how somebody would be in that position. You'd have to do something to have some passive income. I can't see how. It would take a lot of savings, wouldn't it, to be that comfortable and think, oh, that's all right, I've got enough savings to last me for the rest of my life. Even if I live,
if you've got that much, then you're probably more likely to spend it. Either that, or you then don't spend nearly anything.
I'm getting caked in bugs.
Yeah,
I think so too. So, you know, it's not, and I don't think I'd want to be that person that could just sit there with their feet up. I'm not really much of a telly person. No, I mean, we do enjoy our TV time, but I'm not that person that, like my mum, she lives by the telly and she loving her life for that. I would want to be on adventures. I want to be able-bodied enough to be able to do that. And if that means that I need to adapt my life and change it and be a little bit more selfish, which is going to be hard. But, you know, everybody knows that I'm really close with the twins and we do a lot together. But I've said to Jazz, you know, I'm going to need to put me first, and it sounds selfish, but it's a good selfish, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we've all got to. It's like when she wasn't well recently and she couldn't get out of bed even, there's no way she was going to come down to Starbucks and have a cup of coffee with me. So I had to go on my own. There was no option, and it's kind of like that almost, I suppose.
You're all right on your own though, like,
love my own company. No, I love my own company, and you like yours as well, don't you?
Yeah,
So it's not a problem. It's just because we enjoy each other's time. It's a bit like when you get in that relationship when you're kind of glued together, but you just want to do everything together. But then if that's stopping you doing things that's going to help you look after yourself, it kind of needs to stop. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I've gone on about this enough.
I wouldn't say we're glued together though.
We're not glued together.
No.
But what I mean is when you're in that sort of relationship with somebody, you know, you get in a new relationship and you're like, oh, I can't leave your side. And then you stop doing all the things that you like to do.
Yeah.
So many people can relate to that because so many people have done it. You know, and you give up all your friends and everything. But I mean, we're not like that. We do have quite a lot of time apart, but it's just, if I've got a choice of back to the gym 5 days a week or do 2 days and spend the other 3 with Jazz, I'd go, you know, whereas no, I've got to make that happen. And I think it's a big commitment of my time, but it needs to be the number one thing. And and also, I'm just going to mention this really briefly. You don't know this, Jazz. David and Tam, who I went and stayed with in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I texted David the other day because really crazily they was punting, or someone was punting them, you know, like you do in Cambridge and Venice and all of that. And I just texted David, I went, oh, that looks amazing. Anyway, we ended up having a bit of a chat, and David's a little bit like me in that respect, as in, you know, he's got a lot of pans on the boil, doing lots of things, podcasts and newsletters and all of that, and sometimes it can become a bit overwhelming. And I sort of said to David, oh, I've come to this place of a bit of an awakening almost. And he said, yep, he's the same. He's now posting what he feels he wants to post at when he wants to feel it, and it's making him feel a whole lot better, and it's really working for him. So that's kind of what I'm going to do, rather than thinking, oh, should I just be talking about nutrition, or should I just be talking about gut health? What is that on the other side of that tent? Is that a fly or a spider?
I think it's a fly.
Oh yeah, I can see a wing shadow. I'm just going to post what feels right. If that's talking about seagulls breeding with magpies in the middle of a field, then that's what I'm going to talk about. And if
speaking of that, if anyone wants a bit of joy, go and Google a corgi crossed with like another breed. I've heard people say it just looks like a corgi in disguise. I saw one mixed with a German Shepherd, and it just looked like a dwarf, like miniature German Shepherd. It's really cute.
Funny. So I'm going to attempt to pick up this, because we've got a new bit of kit there that you're sitting on. I'm going to attempt to pick that up and just show you what we're looking at. But if you've watched the other vlogs, you would have seen that. I'll probably put this as a video on its own, I think. Yeah, and we are just so zen, and I know this sounds completely crazy. It's been pouring rain. The campsite is boggy and flooded. Oh, someone's just come out now. I'll go the other way with the camera. And it's just flipping lovely. We're just having...
Most people probably think rain is the worst weather for camping.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're the UK anyway. We're UK people, and we are kind of used to that. But if you just look at what we're just sitting looking at the trees and the birds and the other caravans and just, you go around that way, that's a cute one. Look, it's just lovely. I can't zoom in, can I? No. And we are just feeling like we're living our best life, and I just wanted to bring you guys up to date. And like I say, this is something that I thought I'd find out or come to a realisation by the time I come home from Wales. So that's coming up. If you've got tips about that, hurry up and tell me. So we're going to Cardiff, to Tenby, to up country to Cadair Idris, Snowdon, and home again. Might stop somewhere on the way home, not too sure. So I say we, that's me and Hartley. I hope you've enjoyed this very deep and meaningful video. What would you title this up, Jasmine? I don't even know. We'll have to think about that.
I wasn't here for the beginning bit, so I don't know what it started off as.
Well, you know, basically just about the meaning of life, your purposes, and putting yourself number one. But I don't know. So take care, and I'll see you in my next... Is he all right now?
Yeah, I think his paws fine.
Oh, he's sorting his paw out.
Making his bed, but he's a bit tangled up.
Yeah, just take your lead off.
I realised that his lead was caught on my welly, and I lifted my foot up.
I'll take your lead off.
I'll start off. There you go.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.